dancers, I hope you're all having an amazing day now. Today's video is going to be a very interesting one. Basically, on my Instagram, if you don't already follow me on Instagram, make sure you do. I've got 3 accounts, at Claudia Dean World, at Collections by Claudia, at Coach Me World. I basically asked you all to send me in your worst stage experiences. I feel like this is going to be really funny because I've like briefly read some of them and they're just so hysterical. So I can't wait to tell you all of these. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, of course, because it means so much to me. Now dancers, let's get straight into it. By the way, I'm wearing my new dress hoodies, which I'm releasing very soon. These are honestly the best. I'm actually wearing a size too small at the moment, but it's okay. And Romeo's been jumping all over me, so I'm like covered in dog fur, but love that for me. They're so comfortable. Okay, so the first one, I'm just gonna read them as they come. My shoe has fallen off twice on stage. Like, can you imagine the feeling of your shoe coming off? I cannot deal with that. Actually, a similar thing happened when I was in a production in the Royal Ballet, and one of the quarter ballet dancers, she was my friend, her shoe and her ribbon just completely fell off in the first act of Swan Lake, and there was no going back. Like, she couldn't actually do the ribbons up, she couldn't do the shoe up unless she actually went off stage. So she ended up going off stage, doing it up, coming back on really discreetly, but it was like scary. Yeah, so I know what that looks like and how that feels, and it is not fun. In a dress rehearsal, I was doing partner work and my partner dropped me on my head. I don't know what I would do in that moment. I'd be furious. Can you imagine? Like, that would literally hurt so much. Anything on my head, it like always hurts so much. Partner work, I swear we have to do more of it, hey, to avoid situations like that. My music wasn't working, so I performed the solo with no music in silence. Guys, can you actually imagine? Just think about that for a second. You walk on stage, you stand there, you're ready to go. Your music doesn't start, so you're just like, okay. And like you just start it without music. Like, that is funny and so awkward. Like 3 minutes of no music, just you. Nah, it's a no from me. I could not do that. I would find that really hard. That is hilarious. I was supposed to do a 45-second quick change, but someone took my costume. No, that is actually horrible. Like, so for starters, you go into that dance and you're like fretting about a quick change. You get there and your costume's not there. That is honestly my worst nightmare because like you're worried about what your teacher's gonna say. Then like, do you end up going on stage for the next dance? Like, oh my God, I would love to know the outcome of that story. That would not have been fun at all. Oh, this is horrific. I got my period halfway through a contemporary dance and I was wearing a white leotard. Oh my gosh, RIP, that is awful. You know what? That actually doesn't surprise me. Apparently in like really high pressure situations, like your exam, a performance, you're more likely to get it because like I think your emotions and everything are really heightened. So that actually doesn't surprise me. How awful. Can you imagine being like in an exam, like you're stuck in there and that happens? I'm actually just gonna quickly tell you one of the worst things that I've ever seen on stage as well. It's really quick. Literally one of the best ballerinas in the world with the Royal Ballet was doing Aurora, her solo, and she got her period on stage in the middle of the solo, in the Aurora's entrance, like all eyes are on her. I will never forget that. And it wasn't like, you know, a little bit, it was like, you know, down your leg type thing, like not good. Stuff that happens on stage is not fun, but this is part of it. You just like, you know, learn and you move on, right? Oh, this one is really bad. This is awful. I didn't expect like gross ones to come up, but this one is pretty gross. In a rehearsal, this poor little kid had an accident on the stage and we had to dance around it. Was it it a poo or a pee? Oh no, that is shocking. I think with this story that I'm about to read out, it must have been a mistake with the auditorium and theatre. Listen to this. Song and dance group, couldn't hear anyone but me singing. It was like it was just me in the theatre, but it was a group. No, that is shocking. Like, can you imagine having like 50 people on stage with you and like your mic was the only one that was working? And like, I'm a terrible singer. Like, can you imagine? What's a song I can sing? Silent night, holy night. Is that good? I'm getting really excited for Christmas. I literally love Christmas. Do you all love Christmas? All I can think about at the moment is Romeo. This would be my worst nightmare. One time a girl in the Nutcracker went on stage with her warm-up booties on. Do you know what? One time I literally saw this. A girl at the Prix de Lausanne went on stage with her leg warmers on. That is like, nah. Like, I don't think I'd ever be able to forgive myself, because even if you were like the best dancer, and this girl was really good, by the way, like she actually probably could have won it, and she literally went on stage with her bright red leg warmers on with a white tutu on. I'm looking at this kid that sent this in. Obviously this is all anonymous, and honestly, she looks about, I reckon like 7, okay? So she's 7 and she's written this in. I was at a party the night before a concert, and during a dance, I was so tired that I just stopped. How funny. I was expecting it to be like, I don't know, a 20-year-old or an 18-year-old or something, and she was like, you know, having a party or something the night before, and she was like exhausted and went to bed really late. But this kid is like 7. Not today, guys. I once accidentally marked a turn on stage. This is why we have to be careful, dancers. So you can't mark your turns or your jumps all the time, because you will legitimately do that on stage. How crazy. Oh my gosh. An obnoxious ballet master used to scream at us in the wings and fall because of it. Because I think obviously like the dancers were under so much pressure, because the ballet master's like screaming at them in the wings, that they ended up like falling over and doing worse. You know what? Like, the amount of times I've actually seen like dance teachers or even like just some mums or parents like literally in the wings, like screaming at their kid or like telling them what to do. I'm like, why? Just let the kid go out and enjoy what they want to do, which is dance on stage. Like, in that moment, if you have to stand in the wings, you're clearly not prepared enough. Like, you clearly haven't rehearsed enough or haven't prepared yourself in the way that you should before stepping on stage. So, wow. Oh, this one's bad. We were doing a lift where I was thrown in the air and they didn't catch me. It's like, seriously? Can you imagine? Again, you have to like imagine this. Someone being thrown up in the air, boom, and then no one catches them. What? Oh my God, this one's pretty funny. A quick change went wrong, so I went on stage dragging a microphone on my tassels. Running on stage and there's like a microphone like on the end. Forgetting the choreography and being kind of paralyzed in the middle of the choreography. Like, you know, when you forget what you're doing and you're like, what is it? Like, it's so weird. Who has forgotten choreography on stage? I mean, I can actually safely say, I don't think I ever have. I think I've like always ingrained it in my head so much. I've definitely had like panic moments where I'm like, oh my God, what's next? But I always end up getting it and my body ends up just doing what's needed. Are you all the same, or have you legit forgot choreography on stage? I know it happens a lot. Like, even some of my younger girls that I coach, they're like, oh, Miss Claudia, like I just improvised this middle part because I forgot it. Like, I think it happens a lot, to be honest. It really like depends on how you handle it. If you stand there and make it really obvious, then of course everyone's gonna know, but at the end of the day, no one knows your solo, so you can do anything on stage, and I think improvising's a trick. I started a dance in a box, but the person who was supposed to open the box forgot to do it. Oh, so you're like stuck in the box the whole time. I would literally like be claustrophobic in that situation. I hate things like that. Oh, not fun. Now dancers, it has been so much fun to hear all of your horrible stage experiences. As I said, you always just live and learn and you keep moving forward. Like whatever happens on stage, I think it's an opportunity to grow from it. So if it goes right, fantastic. If it goes wrong, fantastic also, because you know what not to do the next time. Can you comment as well all of your like worst stage experiences too? Because I'd love to hear from my YouTube fam as well. How fun has that been? There's so many interesting stories. So thank you all so much for sending all of them in. As I said, there's honestly so many. As I said, there's honestly so many I could keep going on literally all day, but I think I've like listed some of the most funny ones that came up, okay? Thank you all so much for watching, and of course, I'm gonna see you in my next video. Bye.